Hello everyone, welcome back to The Addicted Bookworm, where my addiction is all over the internet. On this channel I do book hauls, book reviews, both physical and digital media, audiobooks, and so much more. So last week I started listening to The Red Queen. This was the last audiobook that I got a credit on from Barnes & Noble. And I chose The Red Queen because I had been hearing a lot of things about it, like, is The Red Queen a ripoff of Powerless, even though The Red Queen came out before Powerless? The answer is no, it is not a ripoff of Powerless because of the copyright years and all that stuff. So, for people that don't know, that have never read The Red Queen, this is a young adult dystopian novel. I believe there's a total of 4 books that came out. That's part of the main story, and the 5th one is, of course, the 2 novellas. So I'm going to be talking about chapters 2 through 8. The reason I'm doing 2 through 8 instead of just 2 and then stopping and just is, first of all, I can't talk right now. I listened to 2 through 8. 2 through part of 7 at work, and then I got home and I finished it. Now, I am currently listening to the audiobook on my Lenovo because my Nook is recharging. And I will say something, the battery power of the Nook, just like the Kindle and probably all the others, they will go down very quickly if you're listening to an audiobook. So that's just, that's just how it is. And it's something that we all have to put up with. Yes, I'm doing a book video while drinking from a cup that has books on it. I saw it at Barnes & Noble and I was like, I have to buy it. Alright. So first warning. I have a bad habit of yelling. So if you guys want to turn down your volume on your computer or your phone or however you're watching this video, I will not be insulted. Okay, so let's talk about 2 through 8 of The Red Queen. And I still don't know why the book is called The Red Queen. Anybody could fucking tell me, that'll be great. Alright, so in chapter 2, we find out that Mare's friend, I believe his name is Will, is going to be conscripted to fight. Now, here's the thing. In the 2nd chapter, Mare reveals that the war that's been going on for centuries should have been over a century ago. But they are still at war. There are things that the kingdom has, the other people want, blah blah blah, and it has caused severe not just financial, but like just strain. And there's some kind of hint that the Silvers and the Reds had once worked together, but they don't because, So Will's master has died at the worst possible time because Will is 18. Will's 18. And what that means for Will is that he's going to be told that he has to go to the front lines and fight. Well, Mare is very concerned about her friend. And so she is willing to pay 2,000 crown, which she doesn't have. The only way that she can get it is through thievery, to this woman who has a very beautiful British accent. Very beautiful British accent. I don't know if that's just what the audio speaker, audio narrator chose, but beautiful voice, beautiful British accent. Hopefully that is an actual accent. I hate to say something's beautiful and they're like, that's not a real accent. That's not a real accent. I'm thinking, oh, I'm sorry, my brain just thinking British or Asian or whatever. So, anyways, she agrees to it to get her and Will out. Well, two things happen that the author puts in there that kind of give you a hint of what is going to happen. And that's what I like about this book so far is before she finds out exactly where the lightning is coming from, she sees lightning. And here's the thing, there's no thunder and there's no rain at all. It's just lightning. And then the box that allows electricity to go through stops working. And when she touches it, it roars back to life. Now, her father does not suspect anything. To him, luck. Luck. You understand? Reds do not possess any kind of power. So if something happens, it's just waved away. So to get the 2,000 crowns, she decides, and she makes a very big mistake. She goes with her sister into this large town that's only open when the king is in residence. The king's up there in his little castle. And so she goes with her sister, and her sister has a gift. It's not supernatural, it's a natural born gift to create beautiful things on fabric. And Mare knows that her sister's life is set, and she's going to make beautiful things for Silvers and all that. Well, what do I mean by that? She chose the wrong time to do this. There is a terrorist attack on the capital. Now, the king is not there. He's in his summer home. And literally, it scares the Silvers, because the Silvers, for a very long time, has managed to not have to face any kind of byproduct of war. They live their own lives. They have their own little, whatever you want to call it. They chase trends. It kind of reminds me of Elon Musk and his friends, with the same mentality as same mentality as the Silvers. So, of course, her sister attempts to do something that she's not talented in, and that is to steal. And guess what? She gets caught. Well, what they do to her is they shatter her hand that she uses to do her little thing. So now she has to quit her job, and there's a good chance that she could be conscripted in a couple of years, though that might not happen. So she's desperate. She's also, upset. This is her fault. That her sister is not going to be able to do what she is good at. And so she goes into a town that doesn't know her, that doesn't have guards, that doesn't have, average people. and she starts stealing from them. And then she gets sloppy, and she tries to steal from this guy, who turns out to not be a good idea. But what happens with him? They have a very interesting conversation about fate, about different things. And he, of course, he naturally is very, like, concerned for her and stuff like that. And so he gives her a little bit of money. Doesn't turn her in, gives her a little bit of money. And he tells her, oh, I'm a servant in the castle. So what basically happens is they go their separate ways and all that. And the next day, something very odd happens. And this lady that appears in that particular scene reminds me of the lady from Hunger Games. I'm sorry. Happy women remind me of the lady from Hunger Games. Literally, she's just this bubbly little bubble of energy. And she's all perky, and she's all the morning person that I will never be. And so she is summoned to the castle, and she's given a job as a servant. Now, what happened twice before will come and play in this. I believe it's chapter 7. I believe it's chapter 7 that this happens. And so what basically happens is it is a competition between the prominent silver families. Yeah, they're royal to the core. To have a girl chosen to be Cal's queen. And this, of course, she finds out that Cal is actually the fucking heir to the throne. And she, of course, she's shocked about that. But what's going to happen to her in this chapter is going to shock her even more. And everyone else. So you have these women. These girls. I'll call them girls because they haven't lost their virginity yet. They're girls. And they go, they show off their powers, and all that type of stuff, and just destroys everything. And then this one girl pops out of the ground. I yelled at this. I yelled in the camera. The camera did not deserve it. This girl who can bend and move metal, reminds me of Magneto without the U factor. She is 10. She's fucking 10. She is not in reproductive age yet. And I'm like, ew. Why? I'm about ready to scream. Why? Why do you have a 10-year-old? And what's scary about her, and I doubt that Cal's tongue will survive her appearance, is she has these jagged teeth. First and foremost, you kiss a guy. You don't swallow his tongue. Okay? Little girl, that's how it happens. Don't be... Why? Why is her teeth sharp? Is she gonna, eat his tongue? Probably, because she's a little psycho bitch. By the way, one other person agrees with Mare about the bitch part. I will tell you who it is in a little bit. So, anyways, she's just and then she decides, I'm going to give everybody a heart attack. Literally, everybody in the freaking stadium has no idea if they're going to go in the lightning shield, which has been created to protect them from the little psycho bitches. So they're falling. I mean, it's like everything's just going everywhere. And then poor Mare, she ends up falling towards that thing. And of course, she's a red. Nobody's using their ability to stop this. They're just watching her body go down. Because they know it's going to happen. They know she's going to fry. Like my hair. They know she's going to fry, so it's like, what's the point trying to save you? Your death is inevitable. Yeah. So, what happens is her body comes in contact with the shield. This is pure lightning. Okay? This has the gigawatt. The gigawatt is like off the charts on this. And literally her uniform starts disintegrating into ash because she's come in contact with something that is not fabric friendly. And the weird thing about it is that she should already be dead. She should already be dead. She should be as fried as her clothes are becoming. But the weird thing is, when she comes in contact with the lightning shield, remember the lightning before and the lights turning back on, that the father was like, that's weird. It's her. So the lightning, the power coming back on for no other reason besides, her touching it, comes out. And the shield can't stand it, can't keep up with it. So you have this additional power the shield is not designed to handle. And it just, boom, goes away. Because you've overloaded whatever. This girl, this 10-year-old fanged metal user is shocked. Not only is the shield gone, but the girl's alive. And what does she do? She decides, I have a brilliant idea, which is probably as good as your last brilliant idea that you had probably a week ago. She decides to throw pipes at her. Why? Why did you think this was a good idea? What happens? Yes, we're going to come to the conclusion this girl does not have a single bright brain cell in her skull. What happens? Lightning comes out of this girl's, out of Mare's hands and destroys the metal pipe. This girl is things called electromancy. I think that's what the Red Queen Wiki called it, was is it electromancy? Because I have no clue what they freaking call it. Oh, come on. Okay, it's being updated. What the freaking heck? I'm gonna look it up. So, here. Okay, the Red Queen Wiki. So let's see here. So let's see here. So, 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 let's see here She is a Electricon. Electricons are people who can create and control electricity while they are able to feel electricity in technology around them. They are not able to control electricity that was created by another Electricon. At the moment, no Electricon has the same color of lightning. Alright. So apparently there are 4 different types. There's storm lightning, there's web lightning, pulse lightning, and brain lightning. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So she's an Electricon. So anyways, so she runs because that's the only thing that she can do. And she gets captured because obviously the guards know the place a lot better than she does. And and so of course the queen has the ability to go inside your head. And of course, she ignores all this other stuff about her because it's nothing to do with how the hell did a red have some kind of ability. Because they want to know. No, well, actually, they're back. Yeah, they all want to know, but the king queen has more of a interest in it because of what it can entail and everything. And of course, Mare has no clue what she's gotten herself into. She's shocked. Cal and his brother knows that she's shocked. Everybody's shocked. So when she is getting dressed, before she gets dressed, this guy is outside of her little cell, has clothes for her. Remember I told you about that one person that agrees that that girl that's 10 is a bitch? Yeah, that would be her brother. God. When the brother agrees with a red, you know either they're going to become good friends or they just have one thing in common. They both agree the girl's a bitch. Yeah. He doesn't take any offense. He's not offended. He's not offended by the B word. He knows that that's what his sister is. He agrees somebody figured it out that didn't need to do much thinking. Yep, my sister's a bitch. But, and I don't take any offense that she almost killed her. I'm probably thinking that he's hoping that she did kill her, because then he wouldn't have to see her anymore. Just the impression I get from it. Oh my god. Because he smiled. He goes, yeah, I totally agree with you. So anyways, they go there, and drops her off, King's throne room, all that stuff. And that is when things start getting a little more serious than anything possible. And the king has her file, including her criminal record. Wow. So anyways, he goes and he basically lays it down to her. He gives her a high dose of reality, because that's what she obviously needs, is a high dose of reality. The reality is that you are a red, born and bred and born, though he doesn't sneer at her. He doesn't like look down at her and go, "Oh yeah, you're a red." No. The reason that he does not do this is that she has done something that he never thought was possible. I mean, he wants to know more. And he's a very, very, curious king. He he doesn't scream or yell at Mare because he kind of knows that she's kind of confused about what's going on, and he understands that, which is great. I like characters who understand that people are naturally confused. And so what happens is he basically says to her that, she kind of suggests that, hey, you could just let me go and I won't tell nobody, which she won't tell nobody because it fucking scared her. But he's like, no. He's like, no. No, 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 no. Not in this lifetime. Basically, that's my words. He did not say that. But basically, he says, you are a birthday away from being conscripted. And, you pretty much don't have much to look forward to. My words, not his. And so he basically tells her, he goes, you're a red. You showed that you have an ability in front of the most powerful and influential silver families. And guess what? You got their attention. And he lays this down, and he doesn't say it in a nasty way. He's like, okay, I need you to understand what you did. And deep down, as I said, he knows that she most likely did not know that she had this ability. So he's not like nasty to her, though he does mention that you're a bane of my kingdom, which she agrees. She agrees. He's absolutely correct. So yes, her day's about to become a lot more interesting than it was. So what basically happens to ensure, and my hair is also acting like with intellectual current. So what he basically does is he does what Mare never thought she would ever hear coming out of anyone's mouth, let alone the silver, let alone the king, is, this is your new name, this is your past, this is your parent, I'm going to make you a princess. Now, she's not expecting this. Maybe a lady, because she's kind of figuring out that, no. He's dead serious about it. You're going to be a princess. So what he has essentially done is but he mentions also that you're a silver now. So what he basically does is he changes her blood from red to silver. Only in words, not actual action. Because I want to backtrack a little bit, go back to before what happened. So for people that, I totally forgot this part. But there's a group called the Red Guard, and they're essentially a terrorist group, and they're all for like equality and treating everybody the same and stuff. And prior to that, when she went with her sister into this summer town, she got a red band placed around her wrist, and that is to let Silvers know that she is not one of them. Going forward to before she is going to be made a princess, she notices that the red band around her wrist is gone. This red band has been on her wrist since it was put on by this guard. It's off now. What that tells anyone who is a silver is she's one of them. So when the king goes and says that you're a red but with silver powers, I am going to turn you into a silver, that explains why the red band is gone. Because most likely the king ordered the band to be removed so that she could walk around the castle without people asking questions. So she is now betrothed to the king's younger brother. Younger son. And the son is confused. Absolutely confused. But what she discovers is that being a princess comes with certain kinds of perks. So one of the things the king does is the king says, okay, I'm going to send your family money because, to help them along. And then what happens is she goes and demands that both her brothers be brought back from the war, which means they don't have to fight anymore, and her friend, without the 2,000 crowns, does not have to fight. And he agrees. He's like, done. I'm going to say something about the queen. The queen is a fucking bitch. Literally, she thinks the world revolves around her because she spread her legs and had 2 kids. I don't like her. I absolutely do not like her. She just feels so deceitful and so manipulative. And I just feel like that. I just feel like, that this is a woman you never want to ever meet in your life. So, they have a story. She's on the edge of a blade. This is what the queen says. Any wrong move, will be the end. So now she has a lot to worry about. One, she has to take lessons on how to be a princess. Wearing the pretty dresses and wearing, the little teeny tiny little crown on her head. And it's interesting how, the author wrote like modern fairy tales where the servant girl becomes the princess. And it's kind of a nod to like all the princess stories out there. So, anyways, I found 2 through 8 to be very, very interesting. I really like the character of Mare. I like the fact is that she fights for what she believes in. And when you explain how dire this is, she is like, oh, okay. Like, she doesn't, yes, she has a opinion. She's got a mouth. She is determined to do what she needs to do. But she also is a realist, and she also understands that there is a lot of stuff that can go wrong. But the fact that her brothers are going to come back from the war without, and that her friend does not have to fight, and her family is going to get money because of, but the king's the one who says, yeah, we should send them money. So, how much money they're going to get is going to be interesting. But I still kind of don't understand why it's named the Red Queen. I'm going to Google it and see, why is the title of the book The Red Queen? Anyways, so I am going to end it there. Later on today, I will be listening to chapters 9 and 10. Um, and I think I said there was 27 or 24 chapters in the book. Um, I am currently at 23% complete. So, yeah. So I'm going to end it there, and I will see you guys next time. Later on today, I will have two videos which will finish off the Children of Blood and Vengeance, and then I'll do my weekly wrap up. All right, I will see you guys next time.